Hi, welcome to my channel. Tonight I wanted to do a fun video where I talked about some of my biggest hot takes when it comes to movies. I think there are a lot of movies that I really love and enjoy that a lot of people hate, especially when it comes to superhero movies. I kind of noticed when I was putting together these, but I thought it would be fun to talk about them. So I'm just gonna get right into it, and I'm gonna start off with one of my favorite movies of all time, and I'm not kidding about that. It's probably in like my top 50. Full disclosure, I did watch the movie before I read the book series. This was kind of my introduction to the whole world, and that is none other than The Mortal Instrument City of Bones. I was going through a really bad breakup, and I worked at a movie theater, and this came out, and I was like, oh, I just really don't feel like going home. I just want to take my mind off of everything that I have going on. So I went and watched this, and I absolutely fell in love with it. I went out and bought all the books that were out up until that point, and it's since become my favorite book series of all time. And so I get why people, I get people saying like, oh, it's not exactly like the book. Like, that's fine. It's a valid complaint. I get it. But I think it perfectly captures the vibe of the books. Like, it feels like the book when you're watching it. And again, like, this was what I watched first, so I pictured the actors in the book when I was reading it and stuff, but I still think it perfectly captures the vibe of the books, and the characters feel like the characters, the world is how you would picture the world to be, and it just feels epic when you're watching it. And I think it had so much potential. It could have been so good because we had Jamie Campbell Bower and Lily Collins. That is perfect. And instead of getting a sequel, we got a terrible TV show. I hate that TV show. It is one of the things that makes me the most mad in the entertainment industry, that got multiple seasons, and this could not even get a second movie. I'll never get over how angry it makes me, because I love this movie so much, and I don't get it. It's one of the things that I'll never get, and that's okay. I've tried my best to move on. I have my books. I will keep rereading my books and rewatching my movie, and I will just pretend that this TV show does not exist. And then next, I have another one. I know that this one is like a huge hot take, but I love this movie. I have to say, Tom Holland is my favorite Spider-Man. His movies are my favorite, but this one is severely underappreciated and overhated, and that is The Amazing Spider-Man 2. We had Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone being absolute perfection in this movie, and we complain. I don't get it. I find this movie to be so emotional, and I get downright giddy when I'm doing my Spider-Man rewatch, and I get to rewatch this one. I absolutely adore it, and I don't understand why people hate it so much. I love it. I love it. It makes me cry every single time I watch it. I love it so much. Like I said, Tom Holland's movies are my favorite. Tom Holland is my favorite Spider-Man. But this one is so overhated, I personally think. And then we have Eternals. And this one makes me mad because people are always complaining that Marvel doesn't do anything original. They don't take risks, and this was so different than any other movie in the MCU, I think. Like, I loved the storytelling of the past and the present. I love when we do that, when you're exploring a story told within different time periods. I just think it's really interesting, and I saw that people really hated that. Really liked the way that they told this story and introduced these characters, and I hope we get more of them. But everyone's complaining that, like, the MCU doesn't take risks, and I thought that this was something so different, and I really appreciate that. And then we have one that I think is just an absolute blast, and that's Birds of Prey. I love this movie. I think not only is it a badass action movie, but it's a badass breakup movie. And I'm sorry, those two combined makes for such a fun movie. I think it's so funny. I think the action sequences in this movie I think are some of the best. I absolutely love it. Margot Robbie is perfect. I enjoyed the absolute hell out of this movie. I've seen it multiple times. I know COVID didn't do this one any favors because it came out like kind of right before theaters started being impacted by the closures of COVID. But I absolutely love it. I don't get the hate for it. In fact, I went to go see, I would have seen Supergirl anyways, but I saw people comparing it to this. That was an endorsement for me. I was like, okay, I'm in. I'll give it a shot. And you know what? I enjoyed Supergirl. It's not perfect. It's not gonna, stand out to me at the end of the year, but it's not the worst comic book movie ever made. I think it's being severely overhated. I had a good time with it, and I would even rewatch it. I think you should go and you should see it for yourself and make your own decisions about it. And then we have kind of an interesting one. This one is Mother, with none other than the incredible Jennifer Lawrence. I will see anything that she's in. This one was marketed very much like a straight up horror, and it's just more to it. I think it's not for general audiences as much. I think if you like dark and disturbing, kind of weird, I think this is perfect for you. But I don't think a lot of people knew what they were getting into when they went to go see it. I watched a lot of Jennifer Lawrence interviews about this one where she talked about a lot of like the hidden messaging and a lot of the symbolism, and I'm glad that I did because I knew to look for that. So I feel like I knew what I was getting into and a lot of people didn't. This was one of the only movies I've seen where I saw people walk out of it. I saw it with my mom. She hated it. She absolutely hated it. And I really, really liked it. It's terrifying in its own right, and it just makes you feel incredibly anxious and trapped. There is a scene that's really disturbing, and I think it turned a lot of people off, which I get, that involves a child. So if you do watch this, there's a really disturbing scene with a baby. And when I recommend this to people, because I don't recommend it to everybody, like I said, a very specific audience, I do warn them about that scene, because I get it, that was a lot. But I really like this movie. I think it's really different, and I love Jennifer Lawrence in it so much. And it's kind of one of those movies where when you see it, you immediately want to go and you want to talk to people about it. You want to rewatch it. You want to kind of watch for other little things. And to this day, when I rewatch it, I'm still like, oh wait, I didn't notice that before, And so I think this is a great movie for that, but not for everybody. It's fair warning. This next one I will defend until the day that I die. It is in my top 6 Marvel movies of all time. I love this movie, and that is Black Widow. I've seen a lot of people complain that it came out too late, that it should have been released way earlier, and I don't agree. I think it makes it so impactful that it came out after Endgame, after we see Natasha's sacrifice, and we see that she did have family that she left behind. I think it makes it so much more sad. I think it makes her sacrifice that much more impactful, knowing, because we knew her backstory, but we didn't know about this whole family dynamic that she had, and we hear them say, did she have any family? And Steve Rogers says she had us, but she had more people than that. And I just think releasing this after her death makes it just seem like, so it just hit me so much harder, I think, than if it would have came out previously. And I mean, you got Florence Pugh in it. The whole family dynamic is so good. And I get the complaints about the visual effects in the last act. I get that, but I'm saying, as a story, I loved it. I think it's I think it was worthy of more hype than it got. I think it's just severely overhated, and I absolutely love it. Like I said, probably in my top 6 Marvel movies. The last time I did a full ranking of the MCU, this one was really close to the top, because I really, really love it so much. I love getting more insight into this character, and I think it means more now that we know what happened to her. I just think it makes it so much more impactful. But those are some of my biggest hot takes of movies that I love, that I feel like everybody else hates. If you share any of these opinions, I think we will get along great. And I would really like to make a video of movies that I don't like that I think a lot of people do. I think that could be really fun, but let me know some of your movies that you love and will defend until the day that you die and everybody else hates. I would love to hear them, especially because I'm always looking for movie recommendations. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.